Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day, wherever you may be around the globe. This is a Thursday, and, just be, I guess, joyful. Put it that way, Tiffany. Just be joyful to know, what is there on the horizon, what's coming across the horizon for you. There's so much. There's so much that you can embrace. There's so much that you can celebrate. There's so much. But you have to take time out to really, really understand what it is that you want. What is that one thing that you desire? What is that one thing that really motivates you, that really, gets your heart to pumping? And that's what we talk about here on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. Let me introduce myself first, okay? I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. And today we're going to talk about aligning with your purpose, aligning with your purpose. And, Tiffany, that is something that's really got me excited today. That really got me pumped today, talking about aligning with your purpose. So come on, Tiffany, tell the people who you are.
I could tell your heart pumping. You was getting ready to go into it, and I'm like, who is she? Of course, I know who you are, but I was like, wait a minute, hold on, speed racer this morning. Great morning, everyone. Great morning. It is a pleasure to be here. When you was talking in there, I was getting ready. I felt churchy. I was like, this is the day that the Lord has made. He's talking about you got to rejoice. I was like, well, we're going to rejoice and be glad in it.
Rejoice. That's it.
Don't start me this morning. Don't start me this morning.
Girl, we got a lot to rejoice for, right?
Watch yourself now.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Yeah.
It don't take much. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, little sister.
Yeah, we got our sister in the house today.
We got her in the house. So I guess I'm doing like you now. I didn't introduce myself. So good morning, everyone. I am having a personal summer yet again. So work with me. This AC is about to kick on in 0.54. Nevertheless, so if you see me perspiring here, or if I disappear off the screen, I went and got my towel because this is just way too much. Okay. But I'm letting you know, personal summertime. Nevertheless, I am Tiffany Rochelle. I am also known as the People's Cheerleader. And what I do is I help women to rid the toxins from their hearts and to set goals that are true to you. Because I believe out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. And so we want to make sure that whatever we're saying from our hearts is going to be the proper thing and that our heart is going to be able to be heard versus our tone. Sometimes we'll say things in a nasty tone, and our tone is what turns people off. And sometimes that's just because of certain situations that's happened in our lives and certain circumstances have gone on, and we're just starting to harbor those and we're holding it hostage. So that's what I do is I help you to get all that stuff out of there, and it's okay to forgive. Forgiving is big. And that's one of the things that we got to do is we got to learn to forgive. Nevertheless, moving forward with that, please drop your comments in the chat section, and also share this profile or this podcast with someone on your profile. That's how I was trying to say it. If at any time that it has been a tremendous encouragement or inspiration to you, please feel free to share it on your particular pages, or go ahead and click that share button and send it out to somebody via text message or so. At this point in time, I won't do you like I did you. It looks like I embarrass you, but I'm going to give it back over to our host, Miss Gertrude J. Chapman.
No. I'm over here, interacting with people and getting it out there, the broadcast out there. But, we have this workshop coming up, y'all.
Yes.
And don't forget to, if you haven't registered, don't forget to register. And also, it's on Eventbrite. As a matter of fact, the link is in the comment section. And also tell other people about it, because we're going to be talking about goals. We're going to be talking about, your plans for 2022. Okay, the things that you want to accomplish. I'm telling you, this goal setting is totally different from what you're thinking about, because these are book setting goals. These goals are for a specific thing, a specific thing. You hear me
Yeah.
say specific
Mm-hmm.
instead of
I was gonna say
specific.
I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Hold on, we're gonna fix that.
Good morning, Marcia. How you doing today? You
Good.
know, and it's going to be exciting, y'all. It's going to really, really be exciting. So
Mhm.
don't forget to even drop your links to your books in the comment section. And so, we're building this resource center. I'm going to say it again. We're building this
Come on.
resource center for our authors so they could, maximize their potential by, expanding their mindset,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about. It's about expansion. Even you think about yourself. Everywhere you go, learn to expand it. Okay. Because we set the atmosphere, y'all. We are atmosphere changers.
Yeah.
Atmosphere
Absolutely.
changes. So
Mhm.
when we show up as that solution to somebody's problem, we're expanding their way of thinking, you know? And hopefully we're expanding it depending on their mindset, Tiffany, for the better, for positivity, for action, for elevation, for maximizing their potential. That's the way I see it. And that's the way I call it. That's the way I see it. Because I know our authors have gems. Women, you have gems inside of you. You have treasures inside of you, and those things need to come out. So that's why we're having this workshop, so you could see how to have set your goal and have those plans in order to reach those things that you need to do in this hour, in this season. We're not talking about for 2023, and we're not talking about what you didn't do in 2021. We're talking about now, here and now in 2022. Be present. Be present. And we're talking about aligning with your purpose. Aligning with your purpose. And we're going to roll right into that. When we're talking about aligning with your purpose, we're talking about that intimacy. Okay? That intimacy. Having that intimacy with knowing who you are. Okay? Go inside of yourself where you could hear clearly. Okay? When you can hear clearly, when you can identify with who you are, you're able to flow in that. You're able to show up. You're showing up with excellence. You're showing up with purpose. You're showing up with boldness. You're showing up with fierceness. You're really showing up, okay? You're showing up to be that movement, to be that how would I say that leader of that movement, or that leader that your audience see you as. Because people might not chime in all the way in the beginning, Tiffany. They're looking for something that's bigger than them. Okay? They're looking for something that's bigger than them. And that's what happens. But can you be that person, or will you be that person that go forth with your message to bring clarity? But first, you have to have clarity of whatever situation or circumstance it is. So when we're talking about aligning with your purpose, align with your purpose and be unapologetic about it. Okay? It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what they say. All that matters is what you say about yourself.
You talk to yourself matters. It definitely does, because how you're hearing your thoughts is going to turn into an action as to what you actually do.
Good morning,
And to be
teacher.
able to hear clearly definitely matters. Who you hear, and what you're hearing, as far as is how you say it. And that's something super personal to me. And I say it that way because when I grew up, story time. Well, when I had to go to an anger management class. Low key is kind of embarrassing, but it's not. It's a part of my journey. So nevertheless, it's one of those little things, and hearing matters for me. And this is why is I went to anger management because I was not hearing clearly. So I would always get upset and get mad at somebody because I misunderstood them. And if anyone ever has
Morning,
conversations
Christine.
with me, more likely than not, I'll be like, what'd you say? Or I will repeat back to you what I heard you to say. And you'd be like, girl, how did you come up with that? And I'm like, that's what I heard you to say. So it's one of those little things.
Yeah.
I would get angry at it because it'd be, what'd you say about my mama? I didn't even bring your mama into the equation. But when I was younger, I wouldn't ask the questions. I wouldn't say, what did you say? How did that come about? I wouldn't ask those things. I would just automatically assume, because that's what I heard. I heard you say this, and I'm ready to fight you. But it wasn't a matter of, I just heard it wrong. It wasn't something that you were being disrespectful, and it wasn't intentional. So then as I end up going to the anger management classes, the teacher ended up teaching me is the catch is you're just interpreting it wrong. It wasn't something that somebody said wrong. It said, leave me alone. So it wasn't something that somebody said wrong. It was how I was hearing it. I wasn't taking the time to really understand what the individual was saying. The minute that I will repeat back to you, what did you say? Or I heard you to say this, then it became a better situation for me. And it wasn't such a argumentative situation. It helped, whatever. And even relationships, as I grew up, in the process of me having a relationship, I'm like, I'm understanding you to say it this way. And yeah, I said it like that, but that's not how I'm meaning it. Hearing an individual, and here again, here's the show reason why I got that is hear my heart, because sometimes we're not hearing the heart of the individual. We're not understanding clearly what an individual is trying to say. We just ready just to go on, or we're ready to rebuttal without even hearing an individual of what they're saying. You just hearing for a response versus hearing to understand. So making sure that you hear clearly what a person says, just like speaking, I'm speaking clearly to you, but I want to make sure you're understanding it so that we have clarity of thought, mind, and speech. So
that's important. That's very important, and a lot of people, that's what happened. And especially when you an author, okay, you got to hear clearly. You got to hear clearly what your audience is asking. They're asking the questions. Don't assume anything. A lot of times people, they're not listening. There's power in listening.
It is.
Okay, there's power in listening, but listen in the correct way. Okay, when a person is speaking, you pay attention to what they're saying.
It ain't turned on yet. Sorry.
What your audience is saying. Don't just hurry up and just listen to respond, because that's what most people do. They hurrying up through what somebody's saying and they listening to respond. Okay, but carefully listen, because you'll miss it. You'll miss it every time. You have to hear clearly. What are the questions that your audience is asking? Don't assume in your mind, because we have a whole set of things that we think about in our mind. It's not about us. It's not about you, author. It's all about your audience. What is your audience asking? What are those questions that they're asking? So, hear clearly. And girl, it's cold out here. Let me tell y'all, I don't know where y'all are, but I'm going to tell you, Saturday's temperature is supposed to be 20 degrees. Here in Florida, y'all, here in Florida. I don't know where y'all are around the country. But guess what? Gertrude will be in her house, okay? In her house. I like the cold, but look, I worked last weekend after I told y'all about self-care. Self-care, okay? I worked, all right? I was here connecting and doing what I had to do. Okay? But this time, I'm gonna have self-care.
You better, woman. I'm gonna text you and be like, "What you doing?" I'm gonna be seeing you. I need to know. You better be rested. Huh?
Rest. You think I can't connect? I've already formulated in my mind what I'm gonna do Saturday morning. I'm gonna get here and do some stuff, but I'm gonna do self-care, y'all. I'm gonna do self-care.
Yes,
because
Keisha,
I really have to do it.
You sent this to us. You definitely sent this to us. Yes, you did. But I'm grateful for the code. I'm grateful for the code. I do appreciate it. I need to stand outside right about now, though, because
not in such a
I just need that like right about now, because in this flash that I'm having right now, that's why I had to go get my church fan, because I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, pause. I am not feeling the cold right now. It is what it is. But I totally agree with Ms. Keisha, and she had made a point where we tend to react on our emotions first. That definitely is something by default that we do. We act out of our emotions. We don't even filter it.
Mm-hmm.
I love to tell you to think first before you react. And sometimes that's not always the easiest thing to do, is to
Mm-hmm.
think first. However, if you think first before you react, more likely than not, you'll have a different response, because there's going to be a consequence to how you act. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is that you do, there's always a consequence to any and everything that you decide
Yes.
to do, whether it's good or bad. There's always a consequence to it. So you always want to make sure that you think things out and not act emotionally, like you just emotionally
Yes.
driven individual. If you're going to drive something, drive a vehicle, but don't be emotionally driven that
Mm-mm.
you're acting all of the time out of your emotions. You got to filter through that stuff.
Yeah, because you can't take back the things that you'll say out of acting out of your emotions, because
Mm-hmm.
emotions change,
They're fleeing.
emotions change,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be careful with
You
that.
have
And that
to.
moves us into not fighting in your mind. You
Yeah.
have to think clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we're talking about aligning with your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
you have to think clearly. You
Mm-hmm.
can't have this fight in your mind. You have
Mm-hmm.
to know that you know that you know who you are.
Have
You
to.
know, you
Mm-hmm.
have to know that.
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
know and it's better you and believe it, just like you said, and that's so right, Keisha. And you got to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got to
Mm-hmm.
believe it. Think
Have
first.
to.
Most people forget this step. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
most people forget. They
Mm-hmm.
forget, and they fight in their
Mm-hmm.
mind. They're battling in their minds.
Yeah.
And what you think
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna translate over in your writing? There's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
battle there. you know
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
battling with something.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
guess what's going to come across,
It is.
as you're writing. There's going to be a battle. So now you transferring that battle over into your writing. Remember, you can't separate yourself from your vision. That book is your vision. Okay, it's a part of your life. It's a part of. This is a question. What story are you willing to tell? That means there's many stories inside of you, but which one are you willing to tell in this season? You know, you can't have that battle in your mind. You have to know, align with your purpose, align with it, and you can't be divided in that, because it will shift things. It will shift things. You know,
That's
and
the
it will shift
absolute.
that over, yeah, to
Mm-hmm.
the audience. Instead of bringing the transformation, what
Mm-hmm.
happens is it'll bring confusion.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
will
is.
bring confusion.
Absolutely. You definitely don't need to be operating in no kind of spirit of confusion at all.
Mm-mm.
So you definitely don't want to fight. Fighting's not good, period. Okay. Who
Uh-huh.
wants to fight? In the process of fighting, there's always going to be some bruises, some bumps, and some hurts in the process of a
Mm-hmm.
fight. But in the process of that fight, do you really want that going on inside of here? So if there's some bruises and some bumps and some hurts that's going to be happening outside of a fight, imagine the healing that's going to happen in your mind, because you're fighting different thoughts. You're warring in your own mind. Stop doing that, because you being a scatterbrain here, it flows through here, through this mouth. And so
Mm-hmm.
then you go, have you ever talked to somebody and you're like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They fighting in their mind.
Oh my
And so
Lord.
it's, again, we can't bring up good enough is think first before you speak. Think
Mm-hmm.
first before you react. Think first, period.
Mm-hmm.
There is always a time that you should be able to take out to think first. That is your first step. Think first. Don't do nothing else without thinking these things through. Count up the cost of whatever is getting ready to happen, because if you don't count up those costs, there's going to be a reaction to it. Stop fighting yourself in your mind. Get some
Mm-hmm.
help, as in finding out, hey, sort through your notes, write out some of the things that's
Mm-hmm.
taking place, that's going on up in there. And then
Mm-hmm.
after you feel like you done wrote this stuff out, it's filtering the stuff. This is what I like to do when I go to bed. I like to filter out these thoughts so I'm able to sleep peacefully, because I don't want any fighting going on in my mind. I don't want to be able to wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, man, I'm just not sleeping. What's going on? That's because I got too much racing up here. Sort through all those thoughts, write it out, talk to somebody, call your friend, call your neighbor, call a counselor, call somebody, but sort it out. And then when you do that, again, if you're writing it on paper, that might help you in your book. That don't mean every single thing that you wrote out in that moment, that's what you're going to put in your book. But some of those things that you have filtered out through your mind here, you can filter through what you wrote out, and that might be able to help you in regards to your book.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true. And aligning with your purpose. What I do every night before I go to sleep, okay? I make sure I get rid of all that junk from the day, okay? And I get myself in a place and I align back with my purpose, because my best sleep is, getting my mind together, focusing on my purpose. So there won't be any fight in my mind. So all during the night, even in the morning when I wake up, it's purpose driven. Okay? It's purpose driven. And I get up with that mindset, okay? This is my purpose. This is why I got to stick. I got to stick to this. I have this particular audience, and this is what I got to stick to. It's so important to align with your purpose. Hear clearly, okay? Hear clearly. Not only what you hear, on the outside, but hear your heart. You have to focus in on your heart. Hear clearly. What is your heart saying about you? Okay? And not fighting in your mind, focusing in. Think clearly, okay? Think on those things that are good, those things that are love, those things that have a good report, Think on those things. Think on those things to, align you up with your purpose. If there's anything else that's coming, when we talk about goals, we're talking about plans. If there's anything else that's coming to give you that defeated mindset, cast it out. Okay? And don't take on anybody else's what they may think about what your purpose should be. You should know your purpose. Okay? If those things are not aligning with you, get rid of them. And I know some of these things, Tiffany, some of these things are great. Okay? Some of these things are great ideas. But you can't take on somebody else's armor. And what I'm saying about that, just the way they may do things in order to write their book or to engage with their audience or however that connection is, just because it works for somebody else does not mean it should work for you. Okay? Does not mean that at all. And you shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel defeated. You have to align with your purpose and the way that you do things. And I promise you, you'll get better results. Okay? Get better results. It's all right, picking up some things and, gleaning from some things, but you have to make things your own. That's what I'm saying. You have to make things your own. Align with your purpose. What is your purpose? How are you going to interact with your audience? How are you going to write that message? Okay? Just because it works for sister so-and-so don't mean it's going to work for you. And just because something works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for sister so-and-so. So you see, that alleviates that fight in the mind. Oh, well, I'm not meeting somebody else's expectation, so I don't think that I should, be this author. I don't think I could do this book. No. Align with your purpose. Trust me, align with your purpose. It only works with you. You are authentic. You are unique. Okay? Now, you can take tips here, you can take tips there, but you have to know who you are and be unapologetic about it. Okay? Be unapologetic about it. And here we go to, this is another one. Okay? We're going to move into this. Seeing vividly in details. All right? When we're talking about your purpose, when we're talking about aligning with your purpose, when we're talking about hearing clearly, when we're talking about thinking clearly, you have to see vividly. Okay? I do this every night, y'all. I've been doing this for years. I promise you. This is how it works for me. And I'm just telling you how it works for me. It might not work for you. Okay? But this is how it works for me. I see things. how it's supposed to be. So when something happens, or there's an event, or there's a speaking engagement, or whatever it may be, I know when it's off because I didn't see that. That's not in the vision that I saw for that particular whatever event that I had, or wherever I'm supposed to be, because I see it. I see what I'm supposed to do. Okay? And I follow that because that's a part of my plan in order to reach my goals. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You have to see things vividly in detail. Just like I wrote it, that's how I envision it, because I'm writing it from my core, okay? And I'm seeing it. So I'm expecting what I see to line up with that. If I don't see it, something's off. And if it's really off, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because that's not what I saw. You have to see things vividly in details. And that's how you have to see, your book. That's how you have to see your message. That's how you have to see, your audience. You got to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. It has to line up. There has to be a unity there. And I don't know if I'm going too deep or whatever, okay? But this is what I do. This is where I'm at. And this is what I'm trying to explain to you. And I hope that you understood that. If not,
Oh, I'm clear. No, I'm clear on it. I hear where you're going with that.
Okay.
I think we have to understand too, our sight matters, and we don't need to let anything get in the way of our sight. Even and when I'm saying sight, there's multiple ways of sight, and I'll walk through that. Even with our actual vision here, that you got to see it. Go ahead, you better talk. You heard her when she said it. You got to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. You better pay attention to the prophet. You hear her over there. But and I love how you guys are interacting over here. I'm watching and I'm popping it up on the screen. I absolutely enjoy how you guys come on, family. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this over here. And sometimes you'll see me smiling. I'm cracking up at your responses. I'm listening to Miss Gertrude because, of course, her and I have to do our dialogue. But I look at that family and I am just over here in tears.
Yes, we appreciate the response. Yeah, because we want to know that people are getting it. We want to know that you understand, and we want to know that we're all in unity, because it's so important for us to flow in unity, because this is a team, okay? This is a team. It's not about, me or you. It's about all of us, okay? All of us, because there's a big job to do. And, this is kingdom work, y'all. This is kingdom work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you never want anything to get in the way of your vision. Even if you can't see something here, you go to the optometrist. So your optometrist will be able to help you so that you'll be able to see clearly here. Also, we need to be able to see clearly for our lives. We need to write out a vision, because that's a part of seeing also. We need to make sure that we have a plan or a way, and it should have some wisdom within that particular plan for our lives. We need to be able to see where we're at now, where we want to go, and we're not seeing past tense. We're not turning into salt. We're not turning around looking into that old stuff. All that's gone. So what we see now is going to make sure that we're doing right so that our future is ensured. So we need to be able to have the ability to plan for our future using our imagination and our wisdom, so that we're able to see where we're at now to go into a better future. So we don't need to let anything get in our way to stop us from progressing to see our better future. We want to make sure that we're still progressing. We can see here so that we'll be able to, as you say, so we can see it, so that we'll be able to see it later on. So don't let anything get in the way of you manifesting your better future. Make sure you do whatever you can now to accomplish those goals, so you'll be able to set up them goals so that you can accomplish it. Let nothing get in the way of that vision that you have for your life. And if you don't have that, you need to take some time with yourself. The weekend is about to be here, but I don't suggest you wait until the weekend. Start now to seeing exactly where do you want to go? What is your plan? What are you imagining yourself to be? Where do you want to go? That vision needs to be out. So write your vision out so that you'll be able to see where you're getting ready to go to in the future. And if you can't see too well and it's blurry, get some help. Ask somebody to help you
Yes.
walk through what's going on so they can help you filter through those thoughts that we were making reference to earlier,
Mhm.
so that you'll be able to have a vision for your life. Don't let somebody else plan your life for you. You need to be able to know where you really want to go with your own self. So go for it, Miss Gertrude.
And it's so true. Bring that comment up. When she said, create your new reality. That's it. Create your new reality. Your new reality. Create your new reality. Okay. Not of the past, not of those things of the past, but where you at now. Okay. Because we talked about being present, your new reality. This is where I'm at now. Write your visions and goals down and follow it. That's so important. That is so important, because not until you write it down, it's just a fantasy. But once you write it down, write the vision and make it plain. You got to write it down. There's nothing wrong with having that support team to inspire and motivate your
You
elevation.
need it.
Yes.
You need that stuff, because there's going to
Yes.
be times that you're going to encounter that you just don't feel it. You're not going
Yeah.
to always feel motivated. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. I can be the people's cheerleader. That's who I am, but I don't feel it all the time. And
No.
I am grateful for the individual. I'll be honest. I had a text message this morning from Miss Christine Barrell. I'm so grateful for her, because I kid you not. And when I tell you this woman is super powerful, I promise you, I lie to you not. This lady is a huge inspiration. Even though me and her fuss and fight, we argue with each other, not all of the time, but she is one of them individuals you'll go ahead and argue with, and you'll get it over. Two opposing views can operate in the same space. We have our differences, but we know how to still get along in the process
Mm-hmm.
of it. So I woke up this morning to a beautiful message from her, and it just really low key. I shouldn't be telling you this, because now she's just going to get all in her feelings. But it moved me to tears, because it's just beautiful, and it's just something super simple. It really wasn't something that was all like long and thought out. It very well could have been thought out, but it was just simply a simple message
Yes.
that she said. It was, "Good morning, friend. I love you."
See,
Oh my
that means a
God.
lot. That
It just
means a lot.
you not. And it wasn't nothing super, like I said, it's not laid out. And the Lord says, and he is going to grant unto you. And Father, I mean, she does tap in like that, but it wasn't nothing like that. It was the fact that she took a moment out for me to wake up. And I look over at my text messages, and she took a moment out to tell me good morning. I got little emojis that go behind it too, but it's to hear somebody just say, "Hey, I love you." Just a moment, just to say, that matters. That can shift somebody's whole day. But
Oh
for me,
yes.
that's a good team member for me. That's working together with me. So even if I'm not feeling like getting up, and it wasn't that I didn't feel like getting up this morning, but I hadn't turned on my little cheerleading outfit just yet. I just really wasn't there just yet. But that was the push that I needed to get me to get to where I needed before I got my coffee, before I got a chance. I'm not going to lie, before I got a chance to go over and say, "God, thank you for this day." I woke up and I was able to see. Before I was even able to do any of that, it was a, "Good morning, friend. I love
See,
you." That matters. Having people in your life and somebody that'll pick up and just like, "You know what, just in case, I need to tell you this." It matters. That's beautiful.
that
So
is beautiful. And that's what we're telling you, audience. That's why we tell y'all to chime in. That's why we tell you to put your comments in the comment section, to
mhm,
put your book links in the comment section, to
mhm,
tag somebody in the comment section,
mhm,
because this is something that motivates us. Okay.
mhm,
We're
mhm.
motivating you, but we need that
Right.
motivation too. This is teamwork.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
have to keep each other up. We have to, we are a powerful force when we all together.
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm,
We are a team, and we have a common goal of
mhm,
reaching our audience to
mhm,
maximize their potential. Okay.
mhm,
Maximize their potential. Whatever you're doing with your books, your message, you want to see your
mhm,
audience,
mhm,
your
mhm,
readers,
mhm,
you want to see that transition or that transformation in their lives. And
mhm,
also with you want to be able to use those gifts, talents, and abilities that God has given you to reach the people that you need to reach. So you can hear that. "Well done, my good and faithful servant."
uh-huh,
Okay?
uh-huh,
So that's why we need each other. No man is an island, or no
mhm,
woman is an island, right? We
mhm,
need each other. And that brings us into the next one. How about this? It alleviates stress. Oh, yes, it does. When
Yeah.
you talked about alleviating stress, when you walking in that alignment with your purpose, you see, there's a purpose for this. There's a purpose why we're together, okay? And we align it with our purpose because there's a higher purpose than this. Okay, we might look at like individuals, but there's a higher purpose, where we are coming together, and it's less burdensome. Okay, you don't feel like you're alone. You don't feel like you're fighting battles and you're isolated out there because we're coming as a team. Okay, we're coming to do the work of the kingdom. Okay, we're coming with our messages to reach those people who have fallen by the wayside, who have given up, who are confused in their minds. They don't know what to do. Okay, we're coming at like that, but we're coming as a team. There's power in numbers. And there's power. Each one of us are powerful individuals. But just think of how much power that we have when we in unity together. And we all in unity of maximizing our potential. We all in unity with love. Okay? We all in unity about reaching people and, with our message and having their lives transformed from the things that we know. There's things that we know. The value system has already been built on the inside of us. Those treasures, those gems. All we have to do is tap into it. Tap into it. And you watch. 2022 will not be the same as in years past. And we got to forget about those things that's behind. And we got to reach forth for those things which are before. And like it says, you got to press. Okay? They might be walls and they might be opposition. But what? We're going to run through a troop and we're going to leap over that wall. Come on now. We're going to run through that troop and we're going to leap over that wall because we're coming together as a team.
Absolutely. And that's what we should
one
do.
mind, one mission.
One. Okay, I'm sorry. My mind went somewhere else. I'm sorry.
We like to have fun here, but no, this is the actual reality.
It's a real thing.
Telling you.
And so for me, it's one of those little things. Is it be a reality, and it's a real thing for me. Everybody, they love cheerleading you on. I love watching this. It's a reality for me, but I also believe in that there should be. I don't believe that learning has to always be stiff and you can't smile and you can't do anything. So I'm going to always find some kind of quirky tactic, to kind of pull you in.
That's that religious mindset. That's that mindset saying it has to be that one way. And that's not the way it's got to be. That's that old thinking, stinking thinking. There's a lot of things that we have been taught was not the right way. Okay. And a lot of that stuff came from control and manipulation. That's why when you align with your purpose and you know who you are, you will not be controlled and you will not be manipulated.
She better. I love it too. I think it's super amazing because everybody is something different. We all learn differently. And it's amazing. And that's why I love, and I say like at the top of the show, get in the comments and respond and interact with us because there's certain things that you guys will say that can kind of trigger us and be like, oh, let me bring that out. Because a lot of this stuff ain't, for me, it's not scripted. It comes from the heart.
Oh, yeah. Nothing scripted over here.
So it's when you say certain stuff and it's just like, and I may have in an honest moment, I may have intentions to say something. And then sometimes what you put in there and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me bring that out too. Let me elaborate on that a little more. It makes sense to share that too. So I'm super grateful when you guys interact and you say certain stuff. Oh, it just blesses my whole life. But in regards to alleviating stress, there are certain things that will trigger you to cause you to be stressed out. And it's something that you need to kind of figure out, like, what is your triggers? What is causing me to be angry? Now, fun fact, if anybody ever comes to I have tile floor. If anybody comes to my house, for me, please keep shoes on or put some socks on. I do not. I repeat, I do not. I cannot stand the sound of feet on the floor. It drives me nuts. It's like chalk on a chalkboard. I do not like, and don't be fresh out the shower or you had
Oh,
sweaty
Lord.
feet or something like that. Oh my, just thinking about that right
Mm-mm.
now, that freaks me out. That's a trigger for me though. It just, it annoys, and I promise you, I can feel my heart palpitate like right now. That was stressing me out. I feel like I start wanting to twitch in my eye. I'm gonna get a whole headache. That's just little things that
Oh,
it just
wow.
aggravates
Yeah.
me. So, but it's just like that to alleviate my stress. Keep your
Mhm.
shoes on or put some socks on. Yeah, I will give you some socks, you know, but please make sure you do that. But to alleviate stress, sometimes, you know, it's an exercise that you have to do. Maybe you go for a walk, go to the gym,
Mhm.
do what you have to do to alleviate the stress, because
Yeah.
that stress isn't going to be progressive for you to be able to get to your purpose or stay on track for your purpose. Make sure you do what you got to do. You
No,
can't come
she,
to my house there. You can't come to my house there with your country self. Okay. You can't. You're gonna stay right outside.
oh, Lord.
Window. Okay. That's what
You got to put her outside?
look, she's used to the cold. It's cold down here, like right now. She can stay outside. We talking through the window. If you ain't going with your country self, if you ain't gonna put no shoes on or you ain't gonna put no socks on, you can't come in my house. Okay. It's just not gonna work. But I understand that though. But I get it, you know, but it's just, if I had carpet, there might be hope for you. But this tile floor or a wood floor, I just don't like that sound aggravates me. But it's just whatever you have to do. If you got to go for a walk, you got to start exercising or finding the source of what's triggering you, that's causing you to be super stressed out. You got to do that. You got to reduce it, because
Yeah.
again, being stressed out causes health issues. You don't ever want to get to
Yeah.
the point where you're going to stroke out. You can have a heart attack. You got these anxiety issues that's going to happen because of your stress. Find out what your trigger is,
Mhm.
that's causing you to stress out, and alleviate it, or make sure you're at a point where you can minimize it, because sometimes work gets stressful and it causes, we can't stop working. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that we kind of need money to make the world go around. You know, money answereth all things. So we kind of have to make sure that we're staying working. So, but
Mhm.
you got to find ways to reduce it. If there's a point that you got to have as a deadline on a report that you got to do, or something that you got to turn in by a specific time, don't wait into the deadline. Take little moments to knock stuff off. So, oh my God, it's
Mhm.
due at 11 o'clock. Well, what was you doing before? Either hone in on it, buckle down and get it out, or take little steps that you need to do to make sure
Mhm.
that it doesn't stress you out or it doesn't overwhelm you, so you'll be able to meet your 11 o'clock deadline. Do what you have to do to keep your stress low, because it's
Mhm.
inevitable. We can't get rid of stress. We're going to have some
Mhm.
type of stress, but how we handle it is what's going
Mhm.
to be able to be profitable for us. And my mom's
It's
not going to be face planting me like this. You got to stop. It's just it's a thing. Do this.
but anyway, yeah, alleviating that stress. And when you say absolutely pay attention to the twitches, the pain, the
Absolutely.
headache, everything can be a sign. Yes, it can.
Absolutely.
And that's very serious.
It
People
really
die of
is.
stress,
Hmm.
and people stress out about things. And when we're talking about aligning with your purpose, that's why you have to know who you are. Don't allow people's different methodology, stress you out. If it
Don't.
don't work for you, oh
Just don't work.
well. Okay,
Hmm.
don't do that.
Hmm.
Okay, know who you are and know how you flow and how you operate. Because I promise you, it'll bring great results. Okay, for you. You have to align with your purpose in everything. Everything, y'all. You don't need to be stressed out. And that moves us into the next one, which is aligning will help you
That's good.
unlearn the system stand. Oh, yeah, this is a
Hmm.
system standard. It did
Hmm.
that for me and gave me the best clarity I have ever
Hmm.
had.
That default, man, I love
Yeah,
this. I promise you,
yes,
I love that.
it's
Go ahead,
true.
go to your
Yes,
next
it's
point. My
real.
fault. I apologize.
No, no, no. That's all
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
Tension, stress, migraines. Yeah, that's Keisha. No, Tamisha. What is her name?
Hmm.
So you know what I'm trying to say, good honey. You know I'm trying to say your name. I apologize. I cannot get it. I cannot get it. Okay. All right. I used to have tension, stress, and migraines. Tiffany, sometimes these glasses, I got to clean these glasses. I cannot even see it. But anyway, she used to have tension, stress, and migraine. And it's true. It's true. Don't get stressed. Don't have tension, headaches, nor migraines because of undue burdens. You know, things that do not fit you.
This Gertrude, I'm sorry. I apologize. So let me tell you what made me laugh. So you gave me that grandma thing. You know, I'm calling everybody's name in the house: Tiffany, Aaron, Andre. We're
I
gonna
did
call
that.
Keisha. No, I'm just saying. You know how
Oh,
grandmas they call everybody's name, and you trying to say her name, and you like Tyler. No, girl, you know who I'm talking about.
did I say it like that? Well, I apologize. I really do.
Wow. Oh my God.
Girls sometimes I get like that because I'm trying to see, okay? I'm trying to see and I'm trying to see, and my allergies with my eyes running. And sometimes I can't, yo, I gotta apologize for that sinus season. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We're going to flourish it. When you align with your purpose, you will flourish. Okay, you will flourish in that when you align with your purpose, and that goes back to you'll have that clarity. You won't fight in your mind. You'll be seeing things vividly in details. You'll alleviate stress. As you're flourishing. That's what aligning in your purpose. And so many of our authors, they not flourishing because they having these little moments like they go and they stop. It's just like this. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's this jerk. It's this constant thing instead of just flourishing and flowing in, with their message. And that's what we want to bring across. And yeah, don't for the real. But it's true, y'all. It's true. It's so true. You see Tiffany over there with the hot flashes. You see me with my cup. And then, I'm trying to look, I'm trying to read off of different screens. We love y'all too. We
Y'all, you ain't about to be coming for my personal summers over here, okay?
But we getting through this, right? We getting through this. We won't let anything stop us.
We are flourishing through this. You hear me?
Yes.
We are definitely flourishing through that because that's what a part of flourishing is. We are rapidly successful and we are thriving through this. I am going to beat this. I'm going to go through this. Okay. These hot flashes, I'm going to still go ahead and talk to you guys about whatever's going on. I'm going to still be able to talk to you about shifting your mindset. I'm going to still be able to talk to you about excavating stuff from your heart. I'm going to still be able to talk to you about how to alleviate stress. We going to get through this because I promise you, I keep telling you, you ain't got to do life alone. I'm not about to do life alone. I'm going to read your comments over here. We're going to sit up here and talk about whatever it is. We're going to thrive. We're going to push through. We are going to still be rapidly successful. That's all a part of flourishing. I promise you, I'm not about to be one of these little flowers withering up over here. I like getting flowers weekly. I promise you. And when they start withering, I throw them in the trash because they're good for nothing as far as I'm concerned at that point in time. But I want to always see something flourishing. Yes. I always want to see something prospering. I always want to see something growing. And if at that point something isn't growing, there's a problem. I got to figure out, do I need to put some fertilizer on it? What do I have to do? Do I got to put it under the sun? Do I got to take it out of the sun? What do I have to do to make sure I can nourish it, to make sure it grows properly? Something is happening. I got a cactus plant over here that has not grown. Got it last Christmas and the thing still hasn't grown yet. What am I doing or not doing to make sure that that thing is living or is still living? But why isn't it growing? I go over to my mama's house. She got that same plant. She got it after me. But hers is real big and it's going all over the place versus me over here. Mine ain't going nowhere. What is happening? What am I doing? What am I doing to stunt the growth of this particular plant? So now I got to figure out, do I need to change the pot? Do I need to fertilize it? What do I need to do? So I don't want nobody not flourishing around me. And if it's not flourishing, I need to find out what's causing it not to flourish. If it's me, I'll remove me from the situation. If I need to do more or less, I need to figure out, but I'm going to get to the source of it. We're going to flourish over in this and inside.
Yep. And every author, should be flourishing at this time. Those gifts, talents, and abilities, there should be something stirring up on the inside of you to bring, your message forth. Aligning with your purpose. That's very important, to align with your purpose and be unapologetically you. So I hope that what we have shared with you has brought value to your life, that you receive benefits, that, you got rid of some of the things that may have been, keeping you from flourishing or have been stressing you out, just get rid of those things. Get rid of those things. Lay those things on the side. Forget about those things that were in the past. If you didn't get it right last year, don't worry about it. But from this day forward, you're going to walk in your purpose and you're going to maximize your potential. So don't forget to share this broadcast out with those who needs to hear this message and encourage them to, visit the show and, do the same, drop their comments in the section, the links to their books, and, be that solution to somebody's problem. Be that solution, because there's people out there that that need to hear the things that have been said on this broadcast to trigger something on the inside of them, to let them know that the dreams that they have inside of them, they're not dead, but those dreams are lying dormant. Those dreams are lying dormant. If you have heard something that has benefited you, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody, because this is a time for everybody. This is a time for everybody to live to their highest potential and to live to a place where they're meeting those things, the needs of their audience, to live in their purpose, their highest purpose, their God-given purpose. So with that being said, we hope that you join us tomorrow, okay, for another, what would we say? Eventful or joyful event?
All of that.
All the time, okay? All the time. But that's what we like to tell them, because it's joy. It's joy for us to do these things, because we flourish in our purpose. But with that being said, we're going over to the Coach's Corner. We'll see y'all over there. But remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.
Grace and peace, y'all. It's all love.